was so faded, so I said fuck everything cause I'm jaded, so what? I did all this shit and ain't taking no love. That little part of my life fell in love with them drugs. Not taking shit back, I love who I'm becoming. Fuck that shit, shorty, we could be nothing. Back when I'm in Saudi, copping some dumb shit. Only 110 out of 10's in the spot. Only 110 out of 10's where you thought. $250,000, that's on this Richard pocket watch. Still flexing on niggas cause I know they watch. I wouldn't lie to you, yeah. No, I've been tired of you, yeah. You've been too all in my hair. You've been too all in my ear. You crashing out over a tree. I don't even know how to steer. But I don't know what to believe. Yeah, I don't even know how to care. No, I wanted you, but that was past tense. Done had a lot of hoes just on my accent. Carry my chopper, shorty, she is savage. Got a son for you, cause you ain't average. I be on gas fuel, take me out of illusional. Think I got it, cause I imagine it. Fashion shit, yeah, I mix it, I ain't mad. She a addict, but I'd rather say she passionate. Is this a bad time? Remember what happened last time. You better off being satisfied. We doing the same shit every time. Is this a bad time? Remember what happened last time. You better off being satisfied. We doing the same shit every time. Check my phone out, a hoe say she miss me. Smoking this gas got me feeling rich. When it comes to a freak, I ain't even picky. Just off this fit, turn her to a pig. I steal my twin Mordecai and Rick. You worry about tech, I give a nigga 50. What a broke nigga always got. That's something to say, but none of them niggas with me. Been blocking windows, I feel like I'm Wendy. No, she don't want Louis, she want a new Fendi. Can't open the text in the public no more. Ain't no way to predict like what she gon' send me. I'm not even doing the talking no more. I don't even think that they really gon' get me. I'm not getting rich, it do not concern me. Cause every day I feel like that really ready. I wouldn't lie to you, yeah. No, I've been tired of you, yeah. You've been too all in my hair. You've been too all in my ear. You crashing out over a tree. I don't even know how to steer. But I don't know what to believe. Yeah, I don't even know how to care. No, I wanted you, but that was past tense. Done had a lot of hoes just on my accent. Carry my chopper, shorty, she is savage. Got a son for you, cause you ain't average. I be on gas fuel, take me out of illusional. Think I got it, cause I imagine it. Fashion shit, yeah, I mix it, I ain't mad. She a addict, but I'd rather say she passionate.
Hey, we're going to recap the weekend, talk MLB winners for tonight, and we've got to cash the squad ride. This is Behind the Lines.
I feel like we get a Corbin Carroll, Nugenheimer off of something off speed. Can't walk him. Can't get him on the base pass. And I think you got to pitch to him. And I don't know if it's going to end well.
That guy sucks, Jose Ferrer. Sure, he can throw 100 miles an hour. He has no idea where it's going.
There's
Zero
no way
clue.
you're gassing up Ferrer, dude.
Zero clue where it's going. That guy, he might as well be pitching with a blindfold on.
And then Ty Jerome, this is where I will gladly take him to be pork. This is his perfect opportunity to shine, and he's been really good at taking these opportunities. So now that he has every single opportunity in the world where he's going to be pretty much the only starter in the lineup for a majority of the game against this Pacers defense, gladly I will get involved.
Arrest Zach Campbell. Put him behind steel bars. Get this guy out of here. He is a f***ing loser, a scum, a lowlife who makes people's lives around him significantly worse to benefit his. He's a me guy, the textbook definition of a me guy.
What is going on, chat? Happy BTL Monday, episode 698 piece. As always, hold the fry, joined by our two hosts, Krabs and Jovan, presented by SeatGeek. If you guys are buying your tickets on any app, it better be SeatGeek. Use code Bookit10. Plug that puppy in your account tab. Next thing you know, you're getting 10% off every future purchase on the best ticket purchasing app out there by far. Go check out SeatGeek. W SeatGeek, W Jovan. I'll be doing it on a Monday afternoon. What's up, Beast?
Alive and well. How are you doing, Krabs?
Sure. Doing good. Watching my parents' dog right now. So different setup, but we'll be back in the lab in the studio tomorrow.
Sure.
We're going to talk about the weekend a little bit. Well, W Week down in Dallas. Checking out the new office. First off, extremely excited for the new office, getting the new BTL studio up and moving. But yeah, this weekend got back yesterday, watched a little bit of baseball, a little bit of NHL playoffs as well. And I still cannot believe we got the Bellinger Grand Slam as late as we did in that game, bottom of the eighth, 2 outs, I believe, cashing that weirdly high total and the over. W play. I still cannot believe it.
Yeah, that was insane. You know, there's going to be some ridiculous moment on Sunday Night Baseball.
Yep. And it was right after an Aaron Judge strikeout.
Even better.
Had to squeak that one in there. Yeah, guys, no steamed crabs today. We're going to save that for tomorrow when I absolutely rip the Orioles to shreds. Hopefully after they lose another game today. So I got a big steamed crabs getting ready tomorrow. You guys better be there, be square. Okay, why don't we go and recap the squad ride from Friday, which needs some work. Another shit squad ride.
Horrible team. Really
Shit
bad
play.
team.
Yeah, terrible play. But we move, we groove. Cannot go in the past, cannot live in the past, and got to find a way to cash the squad ride today. Plain and simple.
Have to.
Sharp report recap. Let's peep that puppy from Friday. Better, not elite. 3-2 from me, Jovan. 2-3 from you. We did hit a sharp report 4, man. We did our job on Prize Picks.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Book W Prize Picks.
When are we going to start spinning the wheel? If we don't win the squad ride today, I'll spin the wheel. Okay. If we don't win a squad ride today, I will spin the fucking wheel. All right, chat. We got Baumgartner Jackson coming in hot resub, and sure we can. We got Compton Dot coming in, dropping a follow on the Twitch as well. W's. First time chatter coming in hot. I surely bet. Let's fucking go, boys. W name. W name. Man. Drop the follow as well. Let's fucking go, dude. Sure we can. Dubs. No TMA today. I'm blown. No Steam Krabs today because I want to do it and clip it from the office tomorrow, not when I'm at my parents' house, watching their dog. So we'll do that tomorrow. Don't worry, Snacks.
No Steam Krabs today because the Nats swept the Orioles. Clap it up for the O's.
The Nats also did sweep the O's, which is absurd. Did not think we'd sweep any team the rest of the season, to be honest with you. Pego, what's up, Beast? If you give 2 subs, you win a month of Crunchyroll. If you like anime, it's nice, people. I'm so confused what that means, Pega, but sounds like a plan. Sounds like a fucking plan. Krabs, Soto showed up in those big games, 1 for 10. Yeah, that's not Mom Pa Soto. I don't know what's going on with him. He's not shuffling. He's not having a good time up there. He's not enjoying life. I don't know what it is, but Soto's got to lock the fuck in. Twitch drops. Sure we can, Pega. Yeah, I guess if you give out 2 subbies, you get a free month of Crunchyroll. I'm not sure what that is, but sounds like a plan, Pega. Sure. Soto did not look happy yesterday. Yeah, Soto looks off. I don't know what it is, but maybe he's regretting leaving DC. That could be it. Probably not. Maybe it's regretting leaving the Yankees and playing that stadium. It's making him sad, and he realizes he's on the B team squad up there. I don't know what it is, but something's going on with Soto, and I hope he figures it out. I really do. First time chatter coming in. Nike man, let's go Yanks. Okay, big night, big series for your Yanks. That one bet more. The captain got it done. I will say that's not my captain, but the captain did get it done, and they won the series. That's all that matters most, so I can't really talk that much shit. Okay? Short porch belly. Yeah, typically it's Aaron Judge taking advantage of the short porch, but last night it was Bellinger. It was good to see. Good to see other players on the team get talked about, too. It's got to drive these guys fucking crazy. They do all this work. Goldschmidt's having maybe his best season ever. Nobody cares. Nobody's talking about it because everybody talks about Aaron Judge every second of life. So good to see some of the other guys get talked about, get gassed up, and good to see Bellinger hit one barely over the fence last night, but for a big-time grand slam.
Well, yeah, we got to shout out Aaron Judge for not being a me guy. You know, he struck out. He let Belly have the moment, you know.
Yep.
Shout out.
Yep. Krabs brother, sounds like you're talking to me through a 2002 BlackBerry. Okay. Don't know if I can do anything about that. I'll be honest, Dave Martinez burner, but we'll be back in the studio tomorrow. Okay. I don't know what's going on with Soto, but I do know that Aaron Judge dropped the ball in Game 5 of the World Series. Yep, great point, Easy Puck. I do remember that. It still looks like he's trying to make up for that one. And he's playing hard, but yeah, nobody forgets that drop pop-up. That was absurd. Cannot be dropping pop-ups, Easy Puck. And he certainly did. So, yeah, that's enough talking about Aaron Judge for one day or 1 week. Why don't we move and groove, talk about some winners for today. No NBA, no NHL, no shit, but we're going to make do. We're going to talk plenty about the MLB Slate and worst case scenario. If we run out of time, we can always craft up a little side piece on Prize Picks. All right, we'll see if we get to that point. We might not need it, though. Let's talk about some of these sharp report plays that we're in love with for today. Why don't we hop in, talk about some of our favorite looks on the slate and see what's up there first. Sure we can, Goots. Boston Red Sox, first 5 plus a half. Look, I thought about taking the under in this game. I thought about taking the Red Sox full game, but after digging into it a little bit more, I really just want to back the Red Sox early and keep fading this Mets team coming off that series, coming off of Sunday Night Baseball as well. It's typically been pretty profitable fading their squads. And I would not be shocked to see the Mets, although they did not have to go very far, leaving Yankee Stadium to Boston, quick flights. I would not be shocked to see, the Red Sox come out hot here, put up some runs early. Maybe they blow the lead late, so that bullpen sketches me out. I did not want to be involved in the Twitter POD either, which is the Red Sox on the ML today, but there were some things that stuck out to me that made me think the Red Sox might have a lead through 5 innings, Jovan. You got that Dobbins earned run square we'll talk about in a moment, looking super weird, like he's going to go out there and throw a gem today. You got Senga up there for a 1.5 goblin square earned runs allowed. Now, obviously, it's not 2.5, but still a good sign. And I feel like he gives up a couple runs. That's kind of what kept me off the first 5 under, although I do like it. I pivoted. I took the Red Sox first 5 plus a half. Any fluke shit. If it ties, we still could end up winning here. But I do think the Red Sox outplay the Mets, who might be a little fat, happy, complacent, a little tired coming off that Sunday Night Baseball matchup last night. And it's been a pretty profitable system fading those teams. And I'll love to back that Dobbins earned run square. Don't know what the hell happens at the end of this game. I would not be shocked to see maybe Juan Soto hits a nuke in the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning. They end up taking a crazy comeback, or maybe Lindor hits a nuke and they end up having a crazy comeback. I don't want to be involved in that. Fuck the Red Sox bullpen as well. I will go ahead and just stick with the first 5. Isolate, take the Red Sox early on plus a half.
Yeah, I can respect that. Definitely nervous on the Twitter POD side, but at least you're saving yourself from any potential late inning goosage. Be the difference.
Yep. Definitely a popular play, but yeah, I had not seen many first 5ers, so hopefully that helps.
Yeah.
We'll go and swing it around. We'll see what Jovan's first play is that he's cooking up over there.
Always a great day when the A's can hit the card, especially when it's an over. So they're hitting it today, and their bats have been dog shit over the past week and a half. The big difference, obviously, being not only were they facing like the Giants and Dodgers, but they're doing it on the road. So now they're back at home in Sacramento in that little league ballpark against the team who just swept the Dodgers. And frankly, it wasn't really like the bats were fine for the Angels. They put up runs, but they won the series because of their pitching staff. They dominated the Dodgers bats for a majority of those games, and they scored runs. And I think game 2, they put up a bunch of runs and scored 9 in the game. They still won. But other than that, if they gave up 2 runs and 4 runs in the other 2 games, they were dominant. And they probably shouldn't have been, looking at the arms they threw out there. Now you get to see Jose Soriano, who is coming off of a absolute domination himself, not of the Dodgers, but of the Padres. Another great team out there in the West. He just threw a 7-inning shutout. I think he gave up 1 run, but it was unearned. But he absolutely dominated that team. Now you get to face this A's team that has come back home, still doesn't strike out all that much. A tougher matchup for him. And you got a bunch of lefties, I guess, towards the bottom of the lineup, like Nick Kurtz. And even I don't know where they're going to put Lawrence Butler today, but couple guys that I think can give him trouble. So I think the A's certainly bounce back and score runs today. But on the other side, you have JT Ginn coming off of the IL, where I don't know exactly what his problem was. It was like an elbow arm issue. I don't know how serious it was, but he's probably not going to go all that long today. And I don't really feel like getting in front of the Angels bats after that series they had against the Dodgers. So that's the part I'm kind of squaring up and riding the momentum with, especially if you get more innings out of the A's bullpen. So I think there's going to be runs.
Yeah, I thought about taking the Athletics here, but there's a chance that maybe Ginn gets mucked up as well. Certainly not going to hear any chirps from me waking up, sacking up, and taking the over in this stadium. So, yeah, I like the play. Backing some runs over 9.5 in the A's versus the A's series tonight. Sure we can. I've got the A's. Let's go and swing it around. We got Carson B resubbing as well. Let's have a day, gents. W Carson B. Appreciate you coming in, dropping a resub. You are him in the Twitch chat. All right, swing it around for me, Goots. Go ahead and check out play number 2. How about the under in this nasty, nasty game? You got a bullpen game, I guess, for the Tigers. Although I guess they'll wait and see how long Montero goes. Depends on how good he pitches. But seeing the total in this game dropping from 8.5 to 8, I feel like was a great sign in a bullpen game. And by the way, I got no qualms backing the Tigers bullpen. I think they're pretty good. So I'll back them to go out there and do job. Hopefully Montero can go out there and eat up, 3, 4, shit, maybe even 5 innings. Who knows? With him, depends on how good he pitches, how long he stays in that game. And then you got Sonny Gray. Don't love Sonny Gray. We kind of targeted some regression for Sonny Gray this season, although he is 4-1 in games he's pitched in. He does have that 4.5 ERA, and he's coming off of probably his worst start, I don't know, the last 2 years. Terrible, terrible start. Atrocious start in that last outing. This could be the time, if there's any one time to back Sonny Gray to do well, I think it's today against this red hot Tigers team. And obviously the Cardinals are catching some, respect here against, the team with one of the best records in baseball, the best record in baseball, the Tigers. You're seeing St. Louis up to minus 160. I mean, obviously it's Sonny Gray, a pretty respected guy versus, the Tigers bullpen game, but I do feel like that's a good sign for Sonny Gray to go out there and at least do job. If the Tigers were catching steam, I'd be a little bit more worried about, backing Sonny Gray to do well, but coming off that terrible outing, I'll back him to go out there and shove. And with this total dropping down to 8, I feel like it's a great sign in a bullpen game. Who the heck wants to take this under besides me? When you get Sonny Gray in that 4.5 ERA coming off of giving up 7 runs in that last start, and then Montero in a bullpen game, nobody wants to bet this under. And that's the exact bet you want to be on. I'll fade the offenses. Both of them have been great so far this season, but not tonight. And I'll back Sonny Gray, Montero, and the Tigers bullpen to go out there and do job.
Yeah, I'm in on that. Probably would have had that Sonny Gray and run square up there too if it was still on the board.
Yeah, Sonny Gray, what'd you say? He was up there for 2.5 earned runs, but got taken off the board. You checked the Carfax. Looks like the under was pretty juicy on the books.
Minus
probably
130. So maybe it comes back, maybe it doesn't. But yeah, they didn't get taken off because of some juice towards the more than.
Yep. Yeah, Big Cheesy. I'll be back in the studio tomorrow, my man. Had to watch my dog last night and for the next couple of hours. So just trying to help out, be a team player. Appreciate all the subbies coming in here and all the chats from all my goats in here. We got Easy Puck SBR. We got Bookit getting up and moving. Good to see that. Big Cheesy as well. Showing hearts in the chat. Cardinals ML is free today after everybody put Tigers at number 1 in the updated power rankings. Interesting point, SBR. Certainly not good for Tigers backers in this game or Tigers fans. Seeing that, the team finally getting some respect they deserve. Typically now is when you'll start to see them fade, but maybe they're just built different. Who knows?
Yeah.
But again, we're not backing the Tigers to win this game. We're backing them to go out there and not hit the ball. And I think that's what we get against Sonny Gray. All right.
Sure.
Let's go ahead and move on. We'll go ahead and swing it around. Jovan's got a couple other straight bets here as well. How about the Dodgers? Surely they don't lose another one, right?
Hoping not, Krabs. Hoping not. Which now, I guess if there is any situation for, I guess this not to be as popular as it would on any given day after the Dodgers just get swept by the Angels, not losing this 4th game in a row, it probably will be this one because you have Landon Knack on the mound, who everybody knows is dog piss and hates to back at this point, but kind of trust him today. It's more so has to do with Brandon Pfaadt, though. I know we're Brandon Pfaadt guys here on BTL, but there is a pretty stark difference. He just faced this team 2 starts ago, and he had a masterclass that goes a shutout through about 6 innings, and that was in Arizona. The big part about that, not only is he seeing this lineup for the second time in just about a week and a half, but this one's in LA. That game that he pitched against someone's in Arizona, like I said, where he threw an absolute masterclass. That's where he has a 1.78 ERA. You go on the road, that turns up to a 6.64. It's like the Zach Gallen splits of old. So he's been really bad on the road this season with a couple of really bad blow-up starts. One of them, I think the first one was against your Nats. So now that you're seeing this lineup for a second time, I know they haven't been red hot like we were just talking about. That Angels series, they got locked up by a bunch of, frankly, really bad pitchers for a majority of it. So it's a very confusing series. Now I think you're going to bounce back in a major way with the bats, and you're going to need to because with Landon Knack's on the mound, I think could be serviceable against that D-backs lineup who just scored 1 billion runs in the majority of the series against the Rockies. But you're going to have to score your way out of it, and I think they do.
I think they are more than capable of that. It certainly worries me going back to the Dodgers today, who will be popular. People thinking no way they lose 4 in a row. They could. You take away that series, reverse sweep, and I like them in this spot against Pfaadt, like you just talked about. I love the sell job. The one thing that worries me is that people are going to blindly be betting the Dodgers today to get their 30th win coming off that series sweep. That scares me. I hate that mentality of betting, right? So you never fucking know what's going to happen. And I would like Arizona in that spot, but I certainly don't like Pfaadt on the roads. Landon Knack showed me enough in that last start where, he's human, but he got through and battled through some adversity. And I was kind of impressed at times in that outing. The kid's only going to get better. And I do like the Dodgers here in this spot. I just don't like that, people are going to be saying no way they lose 4 in a row. And they're going to be blindly locking them in. It's going to be a popular play today. That part I don't like, but the sell job and then just to the spot against Pfaadt on the road, I do like. So those will cancel out and I'll trust. Okay.
Sure.
Totals up to 10 as well. Cannot be a great sign for Brandon Pfaadt with the total of 10. I know it's a Dodgers, but geez.
Probably not. And I mean, obviously, Knack probably plays a bit into it. then plays the majority into it too. But Brandon Pfaadt was going to shove against the Dodgers for the second time in 2 starts in just about a week and a half. Total would not be 10.
All right, let's move. Let's groove. I do agree with you there. We're getting some runs, and hopefully, for our sake, it's from the Dodgers leading the way there after a series sweep. It probably will be. Let's swing it around that, Goots. I got one more play for the peeps. We'll come back to that Brew Crew team total. Let me take you guys to the WNBA. Sure, or the W, as the cool kids call it. I'm going to fade the Dallas Wings here. I'm seeing Seattle, the Storm, catching some steam. Try saying that 3 times fast. Seattle Storm catching steam. Up to -3, -3.5 some places. I'll take them on the ML to go out there and get a big-time win against Dallas, who just simply does not look like they're ready yet. Could this be a Indiana Fever type situation where the team starts out like rat shit, but after 10 games, they start to lock in. You start to see the rookies, kind of click a little bit, and then they become unfadable. Certainly, I could see that being the case here. And I don't want to be fading Paige Buckets or the Dallas Wings here down the line, but early on this season, when they're still getting their feet under them, all the rookies are out there, high expectations for the rookies who did not really show up in game 1. I need to see it. So with this Dallas Wings team with Seattle catching steam, you don't see steam for a road team very often in the W. I will lean into that, and I will back Seattle, the veteran squads, to go out there and get another win here against the Wings. Now, they have not won a game yet this season. They're 0-1 as well. So, they have not gotten a win yet this year. They're trying to get up the schneid, just like the Dallas Wings are. But both teams are 0-1 heading into this game. Seeing Seattle catch steam on the road, I thought was pretty weird, especially considering they got fucking destroyed by Phoenix in that last game. And Dallas were the one, team in their first game that looked like they put up a fight, to be honest with you. And they did. They put up 84 points against the Lynx in that game. That was pretty impressive. The Lynx have been a playoff team over the years, and it's Seattle. There was a team that looked like they were, shell-shocked and not ready for the moment. But I think that turns around and you get the Seattle Storm team, the veteran squads, you get their best. And with them catching steam against the Dallas Wings, the newbies, who I believe are playing in their first home game.
No.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
First game was at home.
Oh, no.
I'm pretty sure.
Yep, that first game was at home as well. So, it's not like they have any, special crazy home crowd, waiting for them to get back and they'll have them inspire them to a W. No, they've already had a home game yet this season. So I'll back Seattle catching steam on the road. Was surprised to see them even laying 3, in the spots, and I will lean into that, take them on the ML against the young Dallas Wings.
Sure. Be in on that.
I like the Storm too, because they got Dallas's best player in a trade this offseason. Really? Huh. Okay, Easy Talk. Sure we can.
I don't know if they did that.
Okay. We do have some WNBA sharps in the chat. Sure. Love to see it.
That was more sarcasm
see it.
because there was people chirping the play. It's like, what do you know? What do you know?
Let them chirp, Goots. They're probably miserable, and it makes them happy. Let them do it. What's up, Jet Rooney? How we doing, Beast? Sure we can. Easy Puck. We might have to check the Carfax on that one, but I cannot confirm or deny. Could be true.
Definitely the best player, and she's still there in Dallas. So I don't know. Which
we got ridden by Zach coming in hot with a resub. Let's go, Zach. Atta boy. Sure. Yeah, Easy Puck just says shit sometimes. Yep, that's okay. Live and we learn. All right, boys. We'll keep getting better every single day. Let's go ahead and move on. Jovan's got one more straight bet for the peeps. Goots is excited about this one. Let's go to the Brewers team total over. Sure we can.
Good, Goots. Frankly, I just want to take the Brewers, but I don't want to be on the end of the streak, or on the opposite side of the streak ending, especially in like a new series where, they're probably having some meetings, some players only meetings like the Nats had, trying to figure some shit out, especially after firing the coach. But I couldn't get over the Brewers because the Brewers, frankly, they're not on any streak, and they just ended the twin streak yesterday, but they haven't been much better themselves. Like, you had Reese Hoskins after yesterday, like calling out the offense, saying we're fucking dog shit with the bats because they got shut out back-to-back games. And what do you know? They had a bounce back performance yesterday, but it doesn't really change what they've done over the past couple weeks or so. But now you get to face Dean Kramer. And if the O's are going to win this game, I know we've seen some pretty good Dean Kramer starts. And frankly, we've been on the right side of quite a few of them, which is great, you specifically. But I don't think you're getting one today. I think you're going to have to swing the bats if they are going to win this game. So I decided to keep it out of it, especially with Quinn Priester on one side. But I think the Brewers' bats are coming to play regardless of the situation here. And Dean Kramer is going to struggle to face a couple of these lefties at the top. You got one of the guys we'll talk about, Bryce Terang and Christian Yelich, and even like some of the righties, I think match up pretty well against him. So I like runs in this game. I think the Brewers are going to, I don't want to say like they're the lock to do it because no locks, but I'm saying I feel pretty confident in them being the ones to supply the runs. Whether the O's do it is kind of another question. So wanted to isolate them.
Yeah. I thought we were done betting those games. Is that just me?
Done betting the O's.
Oh. Okay.
Anything that supports the O's doing well. Done with those
we
bets.
can fade them.
Can certainly fade them.
We can fade the O's.
Can
Okay.
certainly fade them.
All right. I'm learning, chat. This is good. Yeah, I mean, back and runs probably the move here, and you don't want to get in the way of the O's, with some player only meetings going on, and with them trying to right the ship, it can't get much worse. So instead, you back the team total on a Brewers team who low key has been going through the same shit, and nobody's talking about this year. I don't know why, but I mean, their manager was benching guys in the starting lineup earlier on the season. They were pulling, starting pitchers, not getting great vibes from them up on the bump, pulling them early from starts. It's been a pretty toxic year for the Brewers as well, not just the O's. So, yeah, that's a team that's still out there looking to prove something as well, Jovan, right? They're not getting fat, happy, complacent right now. He got their fucking best offensive player the other day saying, we need to pick it up. Our offense is playing like shit. He's not wrong. And the Brew Crew does need to get going. So how about a matchup against Dean Kramer on the road to get the party started and a total at 9? I love it.
Yeah, which while
I love it.
Talking about pitchers road splits in the other game there, Dean Kramer's pretty much the same way so far this year. He's been actually, I mean, a lot of the really good starts that you've nailed him on were in Baltimore. So like he's had
he had some magical powers in Baltimore, but on the road.
7 ERA on the road.
Yeah. Bless his heart. It's gonna be a tough night for Dean Kramer, a tough night for Gates. Shit. We got a hype train moving and grooving now. That could change the vibes. Right? Sure we can.
Certainly can.
We got a hype train moving and grooving, folks. We got a Holy Howitzers coming in, dropping a resub. A's going crazy today, sure. We got Pax picks coming in hot with some biddies as well. Thoughts on the Marlins team total? High total, short line, and the Marlins just saw Brown last week. Only gave up 2 runs, but gave up 6 hits. Shows the fish can get to him, especially second time around. Jovan, thoughts on Marlins team total over?
I really love runs in that game, period. To be honest with you, I think it's definitely super rare, I guess, with either of those teams involved to have a total move a whole point down, which I thought was really odd, looking at that being the only one even like close to that on the slate.
You saw some 9.5 aloof in this game?
Yeah. Which
it's pretty fucking weird, dude.
Still like a pretty juicy 8.5 the over, so it's not that crazy of a move, I guess, but I was definitely really shocked to see that.
Yeah. That's pretty weird to me. I want to look at some of these squares in this game real quick. I mean, maybe we just stack up and take the fucking under in the game if we're getting a total that should not be dropping a whole run, and it is. That's my first thought, but I want to see what the hell Prize Picks is thinking with Edward Cabrera, with Ben Brown. Ben Brown squares are not too weird. Edward Cabrera squares are...
Might as well not even look at the board for Krabs.
Okay. And why is that?
I mean, Ben Brown, no matter who he plays, always looks like it's just, you can't really draw any conclusions from it. Edward Cabrera always looks like he's going to shove.
Yeah, well, he looks like he's going to shove again today looking at the board, but if you're saying that looks like that every time he goes out there and pitches like poo, that's kind of deep. But certainly looks like his fantasy score a little bit higher than it should be. The guy sucks. He's got 8. Whoa, did you hear that?
No.
Scared the heck out of me. I think it's my sump pump system downstairs. Been a while since I've heard that. Edward Cabrera, 23.5 fantasy score after 18 against Chicago, 23 against the A's, 3 against the Dodgers. Jesus. That's a fucking joke, dude. Why is that so high against his Cubs team that can swing the bat? I don't know. But if you're saying that happens every fucking time, maybe we just put that off to the side. And then you got Ben Brown. Let's look at his squares real quick. His did not look super weird.
He just kind of goes with the team. Like if they're playing a dog shit team, he's gonna have like semi-red squares. If they're not, it's gonna be like semi-green. There's no real conclusions you can ever draw from his squares.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he's got that 1.5 goblin earned runs allowed, which I love seeing when he can't even take a less than. It makes me feel like he might go out there and shove. I might have to get involved on that under in the game. Under 8.5. When did you see 9.5 totals? Was that last night? Was that this morning?
I was just looking through the board last night. There's some 9
Okay.
out there, which
Okay.
I mean, I saw it at first and I thought that was pretty high, which if that was still it now, I'd probably think the same thing. But now that it's moved down quite a bit, odd.
Okay. That is pretty weird.
You got two of the 2 Cubs, I guess. 2 Cubs, 3 squares out of the 4 are the top on Pop Tab too. Should go well.
You know, people probably aren't taking less tens. They're probably not
Certainly
backing these
with
pitchers to do
DCA.
well, right? All right, that's a back pocket under. We will keep in mind. I don't know how the hell that one's going to hit, but it's looking like it will. All right, let's go through the rest of the slate today. I believe we got some prize pick squares to go over here, boys, before we get to just talking about the slate. So I got a couple squares for you guys. Hunter Dobbins is a weird earned run square, and this goes perfectly with the Red Sox first 5 plus a half. Loving Hunter Dobbins, less than 2.5 earned runs allowed today. I think he goes out there and does job against this Mets lineup that, you know, couldn't do too much last night, didn't do too much in the whole series against the Yankees coming off of Sunday Night Baseball. I know it's not as contrarian for me to lean into this trend, but I'm going to lean into this trend, and I'm going to back Dobbins to go out there and shove with that crazy looking earned run square against this Mets lineup that's stacked on paper. I'll fade that lineup on paper, and I'll back up my guy Dobbins here, who every time I take a square, knock on wood, it turns out pretty good. He's got a weird looking earned run square up there today. I'll take the less than. And then Chris Bubic is minus 125 to the under on the books for his pitching outs, which I thought was super weird. And then I looked into the matchup a little bit. I guess he's going to maybe walk some more people in this game. I guess the Giants are pretty patient. And he's got a weird walks allowed square up there on the boards. So maybe his at-bats go a little bit longer today. He ends up using up more pitches and in turn can't go as long in the game. So I'll take a chance at a extremely green looking chart for Bubic, who's just been Cy Young up there on the bump all season for the fucking Royals, one of the best pitchers in baseball. I'll take his less than 17.5 pitching outs up there on the boards. Simply cannot resist that green charts, the matchup against the Giants team who, hey, they might not put the ball over the fence, but they're at least going to take some pitches, work the counts, and I would not be shocked to see Bubic go over his strikeout or his walks line as well as 1.5 walk. Which could be very helpful for him to go less than pitching outs if he's, you know, getting that pitch count up, walking people, putting extra people on bases. I think it's a good sign for Bubic and his less than pitching outs at 17.5.
Sure. I would. I
Right?
definitely hate fading Bubic, but I will say I've seen every possible, I guess, square prop you could take for him today on Twitter in some form or fashion. I've seen the outs. I've seen the strikeout ladders. I've seen the hits allowed. I've seen the earned runs. I've seen every possible thing, which is probably a horrible sign.
We got Snacks coming in, dropping a subby to Captain Slim. Sure we can, Snacks.
Let's go, Snacks.
Way to get involved, Snacks. We got Rye Guy coming in hot, resubbing as well. Let's have a great day, everybody. Yes, sir, Rye Guy. Sure we can. Sure we can. Do not forget about the goats. Holy Howitzers coming in hot. A's gonna go crazy today. Written by Zach coming in resubbing. Carson B. I think we already gassed up you guys, but don't mind doing it again. Appreciate all you goats getting involved, dropping subbies, and getting involved in the chat as well. I'm looking through, seeing what you guys are saying. Looks like a lot of people just chirping Pega. What else is new? Sure we can. Pega, keep your head up, my man. Don't let them get to you. All right, boss. Hype train moving and grooving, folks. Feel free to get involved. All right. Jovan, let's see those squares, my man.
Pretty much already kind of touched on some of the reasoning for both of them, but Jose Soriano, I like runs in the game. It's coming off of that 7-inning shutout. Not really shutout. He gave up 2 runs, but they're unearned. So 7 innings, no earned runs. absolute masterclass against the Padres, one of the better offenses, better teams that he's faced all year by a pretty wide margin. Now you get to see the A's back at home in the bandbox. The offense has been struggling. I don't think it struggles today. And I think that's part of the reason why the square is even up in the first place. So off the shutout, I'm fading. Then Bryce Terang. Weird thing about Bryce Terang, I was reading this earlier. So, like, remember when, like, the whole Brewers locker room got that, like, mystery sickness a couple weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
So he was one of them, and he's been, like, he, like, lost a bunch of weight. He was super sick, and he's been kind of dealing with it since then. So, like, he's been, I guess, healthy or feeling much, much better the past week. Up until the series this weekend, from the time he got the sickness, which was, like, 2 weeks, to this weekend, he only hit one ball over 100. He looked pitiful at the plate, 100 off the bat. This series alone, he had 3. So I have a feeling he is seeing the ball much, much better. And he didn't really even have great matchups in the series this weekend. And the Twins have been one of the hotter teams in baseball. So now that you have a chance against Dean Kramer, where I think the Brewers are putting up runs, he'll probably be in the leadoff spot. If not, he's going to be in between a bunch of guys that I think match up really well, regardless against Kramer. I think he's going to be very involved. I also think he's going to start running more again because he hasn't really seemed like had the energy to do so over the past couple weeks, but huge add with the stolen base potential with him too, especially if he's up top of the lineup. But love the matchup wherever he ends up.
All right. Hopefully Bryce Terang is fucking dialed in today, man. Hopefully he's feeling good. We got Snacks giving out some more subbies. Seaborn getting blessed up from a Snack subby. Let's fucking go, boys. Sure we can. W's. Hype train moving a groove and 10 seconds left. Who's going to keep that puppy alive? We'll see. All right. Let's keep moving and grooving here, gents. We can go over the rest of the MLB slate. Make sure we're not missing shit. Okay. Go peep some of these games. Maybe we can go take a peep at Pick a Pro and look at some of these MLB games on the diamond, whatever you guys want to do. I do like the under in Chicago and Miami. I kind of want to get involved in that one. Brown versus Cabrera. Under 8.5 with that random 1-run line drop. I have no idea why the fuck that's happening. So let's monitor that total and make sure it doesn't go up. If it does not go up before first pitch, you will probably see that under on my cart. Let's talk Lodolo versus Keller. I guess before we even get to that matchup, let's just talk the Pirates. I mean, last night, man, you got fucking graphics on the feed from the Pirates. Paul Skeens, first ever complete game. And I'm looking at it, I'm seeing 8 innings pitched. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is why. Because it was the fakest complete game ever. And the Pirates are celebrating like he fucking did it in the World Series. That shit pisses me off, right? When you have an incompetent team that's leaving your guy out to dry and they're making fucking jokes about it on the social team. That rubs me the wrong way a little bit. That pissed me off. If I was Paul Skeens, I'd be fucking pissed. I'd be saying, get me the fuck out of here already. After that bullshit, the guy goes out there, pitches his fucking heart out. Doesn't matter. His team can't score 1 run. 1 run. It's a joke. We don't talk about it as much because we're too busy roasting the Nats and the O's because we're fans of these teams. But the Pirates are a fucking joke, dude. And I cannot believe they get away with it. Just like the Rockies. I put the Pirates and the Rockies in the same boat where they're never set up for even an ounce of success. They're minor league teams for the Yankees. They're a fucking joke. They're scamming their fans to buy in. You get one cool thing going on, but at the end of the day, you should realize you will never win with your owner because he's not willing to spend any coins. He's broke. He's poor. And this Pirates team, it's sad. Last night was the perfect definition of it, where last night you got Paul Skeens' best. Finally, we've been waiting for it. You got his fucking best. All for nothing, right? Like, what does the guy have to work for? And why is he setting goals to fucking work his butt off when the rest of the team can't fucking pick up the slack and do work? It's fucking bullshit. I feel bad for the guy, to be honest with you. He can't get a single run. He can't get any help. So why is he going to wake up in the morning extra early and grind? Right? What's the point of him getting better if the team doesn't even give him a fucking chance? So I hope the Pirates don't ruin this kid like they've ruined a lot of players. And I hope that just because we don't roast this Pirates team as much as our own teams, I don't want to let it get swept. This is a different level of poverty below the O's and below the Nats, where they don't even stand a fucking chance. They don't even have more than one guy. They're the Rockies with makeup on, is what the Pirates are. They're a fucking joke. I feel bad for fans. I feel bad for people who get bamboozled. I feel bad for Rav. People who get bamboozled thinking this team is cool and they have a fucking chance. They will never be good with this setup, ever. They will never stand a single chance. They will never make the playoffs. They will never win anything because their fucking team is atrocious. and it's a team sport. So that's, I guess, my rant for the Pirates today. A little impromptu Team Krabs. It makes me sad. I feel bad for the fans. I really do.
Yeah.
I really do.
Bad team. Bad team, bad org.
Yeah, terrible work. Goots, if you don't think I don't feel bad for you, bro, you don't know me. I might make jokes to your face, but I feel terrible for you, Goots. I feel fucking terrible, but I know you're a grown up and you don't need to hear me say that. I feel terrible for you, but I feel even worse for the Pirates fans because they're a whole different level of shit. And we don't talk about it enough. A whole different level. Like they're 50 feet of shit below the O's and the Nats. Then there's the Rockies and the Pirates. It's a fucking joke. Get Paul Skeens out of there before they ruin his career, bro. What does he have to work for? Nothing. The guy goes out there, he gives his Sunday's best. And it doesn't mean shit. Oh, what a joke. With that being said, they're probably free today after that rant. You got Mitch Keller on the bump up there, barely a dog. What are your thoughts? Lodolo's squares look like he's going to go out there and pitch okay. What do you think about Reds and Pirates today?
Yeah, I mean, I think Lodolo shoves. The question is Mitch Keller, who has always dominated the Reds when facing them in Pittsburgh. It's like one of their big, like, humps they can never get over is beating Mitch Keller in Pittsburgh. He's got, like, I think it was like, I don't remember because I remember them talking about the stat last year, but it was like 6 of his last 7 starts in Pittsburgh have all been quality starts against them, and a couple of them have been just real, like, dominant shutouts too. So, I mean, maybe the Reds look too easy, but I do not think they're losing today. They're swinging the bats hot. The Reds are like one of those teams where, regardless of like the players involved, when they're hot, you ride the wave until they kind of fall off.
You gonna shout out your guy hitting
I
fucking
mean,
nukes?
Hottest player in baseball. Hottest player in fucking ball. 5 home runs in the last 4 games. I really don't understand how he wasn't up to begin with. And that's not like recency bias. I mean, I would have said that since the beginning of the season, but like the whole lineup has been moose shit for a majority of the year. The difference is like even when Will Benson is moose shit and he strikes out a shit ton, he like at least has the chance to run into one, like or have some sort of pop, like nobody else really did. So like having Benson and Reese Hines up there, like you're gonna get some power. So like that's a huge addition to the lineup. And yeah, it was cool. It was super cool that it was against the Guards, this former team, which was sick.
Yeah, I mean, to do it against your old squad is elite for sure. We'll see if he can get another one today. He's up there for another fucking half a TB square. Really, that hits, but I could have said the same thing yesterday or the day before. And the guy literally went out there and hit nukes. So I'd look like a fucking idiot saying that. Who knows? Maybe he does hit a 5th, 6th home run in 5 games today. Who knows?
Yeah.
Comanche Bros knows anything in Maryland. No, we just got a fucking gas station off in the chat. That's what we're resulting to, boys. Comanche Bros, isn't that a glorified fucking gas station restaurant? No way we're chirping Wawa and Royal Farms over Comanche Bros. Come on, Big Cheesy. We're better than that, bro. I got no motion coming in hot, dropping a follow. Okay. At least he's honest. Coming in hot, dropping a follow. Sure we can. And Snacks again. Appreciate you, boss. We got Sean Perry account coming in. Krabs is a bot. Sure we can. Surely that's the real Sean Perry. Unbelievable. Big Cheesy from the West Coast. Wawa ain't a Maryland thing. I know it's actually a Philly thing, bro, but they're everywhere in Maryland. I've not seen any Royal Farms Justin Tucker commercials of late. Usually there's a running all year in this area. I don't know what's going on with that one, but I have not seen many Justin Tucker opera
They're
Royal Farms commercials. Scoots, you think they scrapped those?
they might have, but they're shooting the new Tower Loop ones. So
Oh, good.
Yep.
Or who's the Wyoming kid who looks like he's 40 years old? That's the guy who's going to make the
I
team.
don't think he's
can already see
making the team, but
All right.
we at least need to bring in a competition in the mini camp, So
Sure. Keep him honest. I guess that guy could have been Justin Tucker, but he, went to too many different spots. We'll leave it at that. What a guy. Unbelievable. All right. Let's keep moving and grooving. Enough talking about JT and the beautiful city of Baltimore. We'll bring it up again when we get to the game. Mets and Red Sox, we already talked about. Red Sox first 5, sure. Pirates and Cincy. I think the bet there was Cincy ML. Ride the hot hand. Houston, Tampa. You got Gordon against Pepioit. Would love to get the Pepioit/Rays report.
Well, the Rays are facing a lefty and they're at home, Krabs, which means my hopes are pretty down for this game because they haven't beat or it really looked good against a lefty outside of Jose Quintana, which they didn't really look good in that game. They just won the game. It was like, I think he scored 4 runs in the game and maybe 3 were off him. But I just don't feel like getting invested in the game when that's the case, especially when Gordon had his debut where he looked like dog shit. All of his squares look incredibly odd today. And you want to take a guess where he's from, Krabs?
Where?
St. Petersburg, Florida. Lifetime Rays
Great
fan.
guy.
Who grew up and raised there, but he also played like baseball all throughout Florida, like all the way to college and multiple places. So like this might mean a little more for him to say the least. So I would be shocked if the Rays come out and win this game. I do feel like of all the games they've played against lefties, it's definitely their chance to be the best, but God knows I don't want to fade that narrative.
We got a subby coming in, Kyle B1111 for 14 months. W Goats. Let's make fat coin today. Yes, sir, Kyle B. Why not us, bro? Let's look and make some fat coins. Appreciate the subby. And yeah, snacks, bro. Might not be worth your time. Trying to convince Big Cheesy, a guy from Cali, about crabs. Probably not worth your time. He's probably never going to get it. It's okay, Big Cheesy. We all have our faults.
Crab hate. Love crab.
You got crab hate. He's from Cali, bro. He's never had good crabs. He's had fucking
yeah.
deadliest catch snow crabs. That shit, sure, it's great, whatever, but it's not the same. It's not the same.
Dog piss crab.
Yeah, that's fake crab. That's fake sharp crab. All right, let's keep moving and grooving. Rays reports facing a lefty at home, and they're probably caked, and that's probably not a narrative that we want to fade, although it's worth noting they're catching some steam. So we'll see if they end up winning, but you won't see my coins on them yet. They look sharp, but I don't know if I can turn off my baseball brain and play them. So I think I'll probably stay off there.
Yeah.
What about Cleveland and Minnesota? Shout out the Twins. Their run is finally over, Jovan. They finally dropped the game last night. They won 13 in a row before that, I believe. That's insane. Now they play a Guards team who has lost 4 in a row. And they just got swept in a series against the Reds. But the Guards have good success against the Twins. They always play them pretty well. At least they have of late. They've won 4 of their last 5 against them. Typically, the Guardians win these games. Do you think the Twins bounce back after their first loss in weeks? Or do you think the Twins maybe starts, I don't know, another streak now and they lose 2 in a row? What are your thoughts?
I think they might lose 2 in a row, to be honest with you, Krabs.
Wow.
And that takes a lot to say because you know who's on the mound for the Guardians. Not my favorite pitcher, to say the least. It's Logan Allen, who is dog piss, dog meat. But with the current state of the Twins, like most times I would be like super excited about a lefty that come and I don't know, gives up a lot of barrels because they're like just the team that strikes out a bunch, but they'll hit the ball hard. This current team is not that team. It's like, especially now with, I don't even know what the status of Correa and Buxton are. I'm pretty sure they're out for a couple more days, but this current lineup is a little more contact based, which for Logan Allen is kind of better for him damage wise. Like I think he pitches decently well tonight, but Bailey O'Bear is also like as good as he's been. He hasn't been very efficient. It's like he had a great start against the Guardians. I think it was a couple starts ago where he gave up 1 run through 7, but he had a bunch of hits. He was fighting through traffic, and then somehow weaseled his way out. Like the last couple of starts, he's like hasn't got out of the 5th inning in one of them. Barely got to the 5th inning in one with like 100+ pitches. So like he's been kind of dancing his way around a lot of trouble, and seeing this Guardians team after they just got swept by the Reds, super desperate type team, contact team, seeing him for the second time. This might be where he finally gives up a little usage.
It could be. Wouldn't be shocked. Maybe it's the over in the game.
It could be with Logan Allen on the side.
Yeah.
I still think it just might be the Guards.
Yeah. Maybe the Twins do drop 2 in a row for the first time in like 3 weeks. Okay. I mean, yeah, Guards offense coming off of back-to-back 1-run games in Great American Small Park. That's an absolute joke. They got to bounce back, but luckily for them, they have good history of late against their division rival, the Twins.
Yeah.
They've been playing them well. I bet they play them well again today. I lean the over in the game, but I like that Guards ML play with you if I had to take a side. I like it.
Sure.
I like it. All right. Bailey O'Bear, less than 5Ks, Turner Mac likes. I'll give it a look. I want to look at some of his squares and see how he's getting respected. On Prize Picks. Let's see.
I don't think he has
5Ks does not look that weird.
no fantasy score either.
No fantasy score, kind of weird. I mean, he was unbelievable until that last outing. Before that, he was on fire, letting up one run to start for like a month. Okay. Yeah, kind of weird he doesn't have a fantasy score, I'll be honest, but I don't know if that means more than or less than for what I would take if it was up. All right. Seattle and Chicago. Every time I've asked Jovan about the Mariners over the last 2 weeks, he's given me the right side. Do you think it's Castillo tonight, laying minus 200s? Do you think the White Sox have life? They've lost 4 games in a row, Jovan. What is the Mariners' report against the White Sox?
I'm just very curious, Krabs. After a sweep of the Padres, which was, I mean, they were plus money dogs, I think, all of the games, dominated them. The Padres offense scored 1 run every game. How the fuck are they going into Chicago with Castillo on the mound and Davis Martin is catching steam? It's a little odd to me. I'll be honest.
Your guy,
Yeah,
Davis
my guy.
fucking.
Yeah, he's been relatively nails. What's his 3.65 ERA now? He's not super overpowering, just kind of gets the job done. Him and Shane Smith have been goated, even though Shane Smith gave up a bunch of runs, but it wasn't on him. ERA saved in that Cup series. But yeah, Davis Martin it's making me take a little look at backing him.
You know, I don't love his squares, but it's still,
Davis.
yeah. Still a White Sox pitcher against the red hot Mariners. So, but I don't love looking at his squares. I don't love that earned run square.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably been better spots to back him. I mean, he just had a solid start against the Reds, even though he had a couple relatively not great ones before that. Royal Star is pretty bad. Astro Star wasn't horrible.
Let me ask you this: do you think the White Sox are showing up a little bit, or maybe Martin is too? But at least the White Sox catching steam is a little bit weird in any scenario.
Yeah, that doesn't happen
The
too
juice
much.
on the over starting to get pretty significant here. I'm seeing minus 115s across the board. I wonder if we'll end up seeing any 8.5 totals popping up. Maybe it's just the over in the game. And we get some White Sox runs. Maybe they carry the weight there and they end up cashing the over. But maybe it's just runs with that total moving up. Castillo has been better of late. He's not been elite this season, but still one of their better arms. And seeing a total moving up, I feel like we're seeing runs. I mean, Seattle's coming off of scoring 6 and 4 and 5 in a pitcher's park in San Diego. That's pretty impressive. Maybe they keep that up one more time against the White Sox here. Maybe it's the White Sox bats that they get going after they have not scored too much of late against the Cubbies on the road. I thought it was weird seeing the juice shift towards the over in this game, along with the White Sox catching steam. There's got to be runs coming from somebody, and if they were coming from the Mariners, they'd be a much heavier favorite with Castillo on the bump, in my opinion. So maybe it's just White Sox money line.
Yeah, I can.
Maybe they win the game tonight. They carry the weight.
Maybe a little first 5 because it is the White Sox. But
yeah,
I agree with the sentiment. Slept on. Still, Andres Munoz, just best reliever in baseball.
Yep,
it's actually unbelievable, dude.
It's not allowed to run all season,
all year, earned at least. So I think
crazy.
I think he gave up 2 runs, but there were the inherited base runners in like extra innings. It's like those don't count against you.
They should not. That's good. All right. Fucking Munoz, man. He's been so good. Could I get the Phillies and Rockies report from you? Sanchez versus Freeland. Shout out the cheating Phillies. You got Alvarado, excuse me, on the 80-day suspended list now.
80 game. It was a weight loss pill too.
I'm not buying it, Goots. I'm not buying it.
He said in interviews, he's like, I hate how fat I am. So I don't know. We'll see.
I'm sure he was taking the fat loss drug like everybody, but I'm also sure he was taking steroids and cheating.
Yeah, I mean, he could have just taken Ozempic.
He could have been taking 2 drugs,
Holy.
right?
Literally just started
I'm not
hailing
buying it
outside.
with him. Snowing and hailing outside.
Not snowing. It's hailing. GG to people's cars out here.
Okay.
Sweet.
Is it really bad?
I mean, it's not too bad yet. It just started, but some fat little chunks of ice I'm seeing bounce off the roofs here.
Bad old chunks. Sure we
Yeah.
can.
There were like 2 fat tornado warnings last night at like 11. Headed like right here. I guess there's supposed to be
Jesus.
more today.
Stay safe down there, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure Mikey's car is in some sort of garage or something, man. He's already gotten mucked up once.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, I mean, look, Alvarado was probably taking his Ozempic, but he certainly was probably taking something else. Okay. I trust whatever the fuck comes up on the tests, and I'm not surprised to see the Philly scumbags trying to cheat. I'll leave it at that. Unbelievable. I wonder why the guy throws a fucking 100 miles an hour. He's taking steroids. He's cheating. No shit, he's throwing 100. Check out Christopher Sanchez. He's throwing 5 miles an hour faster than he ever has this year. Fucking drug test 10. Tired of seeing the Phillies win, Chad.
He's good.
Tired of seeing him win. Yeah, he's fucking good. Certainly, that's just random that he's this elite now at this age of his career. It throws way harder, right? Surely that's elite, or that's all legal, right? But they're on those guys, so we'll see. All right, steroids aside, Alvarado aside, what are you thinking about Sanchez versus Freeland? Those squads aces going head to head.
Crazy that that's actually the case. But yeah, you know my rule when it's first game in course with a GOAT squad coming in. If I see a whole bunch of regular squares up, which there is for the Phillies especially, you can take a plethora of whatever square you can possibly want on their side. That is 9 times out of 10 a horrible sign for runs. So I do not want to lean into that. Probably don't even want to lean into the Phillies. Baseball wise, like Sanchez should have like a decent day, but I'm kind of feeling like he might not be as efficient as some people would think. He's going to face a pretty aggressive team at this point. They're swinging more, which hasn't been leading to runs, but he's a sinker baller, which a lot of these guys have been doing a great job of getting the ball in the air as of recent. They've actually been much better against sinker ball pitchers or ground ball pitchers as of recent. So I think there might be some traffic on the bases for Sanchez today. And I don't think he has the smoothest outing unless he wants to strike everybody out, which is certainly possible. But I don't know. Fat move to the Phillies. I've seen a lot of that over too, and it hasn't moved a cent. This game feels odd.
Yeah, does feel a little odd. I don't know how much more they'd make the Phillies favorites. Probably a little bit more, at least. They're playing good ball right now.
Yeah,
Mine's 270 at least.
We've started to see the Rockies, like, I forget who was on the bump. It might have been Corbin Burns. Like, the Rockies the D-backs were minus 400.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Obviously, they're in cores. It's a little different, but I probably would have expected somewhat near that against this version of the Rockies with Sanchez on the bump. It feels odd.
Yeah.
It feels odd to say that minus 240 might seem a little low, but it kind of does.
Don't disagree. It probably should be somewhere closer to minus 3. Could be an interesting sign for Freeland and the Rockies. Maybe they show some heart. Total in the game is up from 9.5 to 10 as well after the snooze fest from both these teams in their last games where they were both in 1-0 games. Maybe we get some runs and not a hot take. I mean, they're playing in course. So, and Kyle Freeland's pitching. So, yeah, I'm not surprised to see the total moving up, but I'd say I'd lean that way. I'd back it over after both teams are coming off of 1-0 games. Right? Jovan, I found a way to fade Bubic. We'll see how it works out today, taking his less than pitching outs. Do you have any other thoughts on Bubic versus Ray? 2 of the seemingly luckiest pitchers in baseball, 2 lucky lefties who are, I don't know, they're goods, but clearly they've had luck on their side so far this season. They've gotten out of jams. They've had some luck. Robbie Ray still undefeated so far this season, and Bubic is, has a 1.66 ERA, which is a little bit lower than his expected numbers. But either way, I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't say anything about your guy Robbie Ray in terms of fading that game or fading him in that game.
I think I'm done fading Robbie Ray.
Wow. You got one and you're out?
Yeah, I think I'm done. Yeah, I think I'm out fading Robbie Ray. He's still undefeated so far this season. And again, fading trends in baseball just simply doesn't work. So, yeah, not going to fade him anymore. I'd much rather fade Bookit, a guy who I still need to see it. He's having a great season, but is he 1.66 good? No. He's got regression looming. I think it comes tonight against a veteran Giant squad.
Yeah. I'll say, I mean, the Royals are weird because they're dog shit against left-handed pitching, but they're also like they don't strike out. So like it's a good matchup for Robbie Ray on one side, but a disaster matchup on another. I kind of think the Royals are going to score some runs, especially like can't really say too many times. Like if I'm looking at the Royals and I think they're going to score some runs off of a good pitcher, I'm expecting anything from anybody other than like the top of the lineup, like Bobby Witt, Salvi, all those guys. I think the bottom of the lineup might give him some problems today, which is rare. I don't know how they're going to line it up. Probably like no Barry Bonds, Drew Waters because he's lefty, but the righties that are at the bottom, I think are going to supply some goosage.
There could be some goose gossage going on in that game.
Definitely.
The lineup. I don't know if that's what I was expecting, but I'm in for it.
Going to take a peep at some of the squares, I guess, for the Royals from the bottom guys once that lineup drops.
Okay. All right. Keep me posted. The total in the game is still at 7.5. So I know it's in a pitcher's park. It's not looking to me like we're getting a ton of runs, but both these guys are due for some negative regression. Right? They've both been shoving.
This might be the Royals.
Maybe it is. We'll see how it works out in fading Bookit tonight. So taking the less than pitching outs for him. Right? Could be a sneaky first 5 over in the Giants game. Maybe. Yeah. Wouldn't tell you no. All right. Jovan, you like the over in the Angels and Athletics game? Sure. Aiden Soriano, fading Ginn, coming off the IL. Should be a good look. And then the Dodgers on the ML here, who are back to minus 145 now, I'm seeing. Okay.
Yep.
A little more playable.
Very playable. Yeah. They're winning that game, unfortunately.
I do like that play. I do like them today. I just don't love that they just got swept. And people are only betting them for that reason today. I know you're not. I like your reasons. I like your sell job. I'm in.
Yeah.
It scares me a hair.
Just think about it like this. This is probably if anybody else was pitching for the Dodgers from the rotation, this would be everywhere. This is probably the one guy / like if it happened to be a bullpen game, you don't really know who's pitching, but this is could kind of be a bullpen game too, depending on how it shakes out. But this is probably the one guy that gives a lot of people a lot of pause.
Yeah. You're not wrong. Maybe that's the one thing keeping us alive here. Who the hell wants to bet on Landon Knack? Just seeing it a lot today, man.
Yeah.
Seeing it a lot. Still the Dodgers, right? But I love the sell job, and I do think, unfortunately for our guy Fott, not going to be his best start out there tonight. That I can agree with.
Yeah.
All right. We went through the whole MLB slate. Maybe we could check some splits. Would love to look at Pick a Pro. Shout out Pick a Pro. If you guys aren't using Pick a Pro right now, what the hell are you doing? We look at it every single day. Checking out the splits, checking out the most popular. Honestly, let's go to that Dodgers game. I want to click on it and see what the most popular plays are. If we click on it and scroll to the bottom a little bit, I guess we can check the splits first. Yeah, I mean, it's the Dodgers, so it is what it is. I don't think it matters too much, but let's check out some of the popular markets down below. What are people taking? Are they taking Brandon Pfaadt? There we go. Shohei Nuke. Okay, that's probably up there number one every game. The over. The Dodgers ML. This could save Trent some time. Just going right to Pick a Pro and starting his fucking Fugazi from here. Freddie Freeman. Sure, he's been seeing the ball great of late. Corbin Carroll as well. Good to see a D-back involved. He's also just seeing beach balls. Landon Knack hits allowed over. Shocker. Not really. I'm being sarcastic. People don't like him, but he's coming off a pretty bad game as well, where he finally hit his fucking over hits allowed. So I think we were on that, actually. Shout out LC. who gave that square when we were in the office. So Eugenio's involved. Yeah, all the biggest names, all the stuff that makes the most sense is up here first. Shocker.
Yeah.
And with that Shohei, I mean, just hilarious that that's above, the total in the Dodgers ML, but people would rather bet Shohei Nuke at this point than betting the Dodgers. Maybe that's a good sign for LADML
Could
in
be.
life.
Could be.
And then people like the over, which, I mean, I'm not even going to talk them off it. I kind of like runs as well in this game. And I think the Dodgers might come out a little pissed off
I think this
in this
is
game today, right?
exactly what the popular market is going to look like for every single Dodgers game.
Yeah, it's probably, we'll come back here tomorrow. It'll look the same. Same place. Yep.
Unless like they're facing Skeens or somebody.
You know what I want to know? I'm just curious at this point. Can we look at the same thing for the Brewers game?
Oh,
I want to know
that'd
what
be-
the hell are the popular markets in the Brewers game. I'm sorry, Goots.
yeah, beach ball.
Milwaukee
Nationals,
ML, you got some life, Goots. Sure we
beach
can.
ball Jackson.
But Orioles ML right back up there in third. Okay. Jackson Holiday, who, by the way, I'm surprised we haven't heard any compliments yet. Jackson Holiday starting to swing the bat pretty darn well.
Yes,
He's
we'd
starting
be
to look like a
hearing
pro.
So much more glaze from Goots if they weren't all Chris Paul cuts the lead to 40 home runs.
I know, but he's got to be at least a little bit happy about that. Jackson
Yeah, for
Holiday
sure.
might not be a bust. He might actually be kind of good. And the better he plays, the better chance we see his brother Ethan Holiday in a Nats uni.
Dude,
Which,
no way,
as crazy as that sounds, that's true.
There's no way people are betting more Jake Bauers home runs than the over in the game. That is absurd.
Yep.
Jake
It's true.
Bauers,
Look it up. It's true. Get the
Jake
Carfax.
Bauers. I know.
You got him right here.
I'm saying that's absurd. He doesn't even fucking play every day.
That is kind of absurd. Yes. Dean Kramer outs. The over is being bet on for some reason. Okay. Sure. It's crazy. People are taking his 14.5. They're taking his alt line 17.5. Jesus. D. Kramer walks is up there. Quinn Priester's finally up there. What is that for? His outs as well. Over 14.5. What are the odds on that puppy?
I mean,
plus 145.
No, it's like minus 145. I think
minus 165. I'm gonna get the fucking magnifying glass out. Okay.
Goggles.
Isn't the other holiday supposed to be even better? I don't know. I've heard mixed things. I've heard it's kind of sketchy that his stats are hard to find, and some of these like MLB prospect people that I follow on X who just all they fucking do and all they know is prospects. It's crazy. They've talked about it a little bit. They're like, yeah, whenever you see a guy who has, this big of a name and it's hard to find his stats or it's hard to find, his same numbers on two comparable stat sites, it's usually a little sketchy, is what the guys are saying. It's usually pretty telling and might mean that he's not having the best season. And maybe some of the stats are skewed, or maybe they're not as easy to find because they're not good. So that's kind of weird. But I mean, look, at this point in this draft class, there's not, I don't think there's a lot of Bryce Harpers in this draft class. I'll be honest with you. There's not really one. I feel like you might have to just take the holiday and take the risk and see how it goes. That's kind of where my brain's at right now. Before the season, I would have said, without a doubt, take the fucking Florida State arm, take your guy, Jamie Arnold, right? But I mean, talk about when the lights are bright, that guy shits down leg. He does, respectfully. And that's worried me a little bit too. Now, is he the best pitcher available? Sure, by far. And he's probably still going to go 1 or 2 or maybe 3. But in all the big games, he has not pitched well. He's had some injuries. Mike Rizzo went down there to see him earlier this season, and he pitched terribly that game. So there's been some weird shit going on with your guy, Jamie Arnold. See how that plays out, right? The Nats already have a ton of young lefties. Do they want to, add another one? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they just take Holiday, right? I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see. Or maybe they go random high school bat.
Yeah, you could also go Witherspoon. He's fucking gross.
Okay. Yeah, I'm curious to see who we take. I think that's in a couple months during the All-Star break. They'll have it. What do you think about my take yesterday about, 3 Nats should make the All-Star game? You think that was a shit take? Or was that a good take?
I don't know if that was a shit take. to be honest with you, Krabs. I would love to sit up here and say that the Nats are moose shit. But I mean, CJ Abrams is playing out of his mind. James Wood is 100% an all-star. Gore is probably the biggest question out of the three. But I mean, he's been unbelievable as of recent for the most part, minus that weird, I guess, O start. He got 10 hits, didn't even get through the fourth. But
Yep.
Abrams and Wood, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, Abrams is having a better season statistically than fucking Wood. It's crazy.
I mean, Abrams is having a better statistical season than a lot of people's favorite players, and they don't realize it.
Yeah, because he's on the Nats.
Yeah, it's in 312 with 8 nukes. He's been absolutely unbelievable.
I'm not saying he's good at defense yet, but he's improved. You can tell it's night and day from last season, so that's all you can expect. That's all you can ask for, I guess, is improvement.
Yeah.
Bautista an all-star, sure. Abrams was hitting nukes this weekend. Yes, he was. Kaprizov. And he stays out late and gambles. Yeah, how is he not a more lovable guy? I don't get it. It's because he's on the fucking ratchet Nats. The guy, if he was on any other big team, big market team, he'd be like the coolest player in baseball. You guys just don't get to see it, I guess, but he's so fucking swaggy and good. And he hits nukes like every game now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Alex Call, all-star. Yeah, the Alex Call experiment might be done. Might be done. He's won for his last 21, I believe. I heard on the radio yesterday.
It's really bad.
Crazy.
Really bad.
Yeah, it's terrible, dude. First time chatter, Whales are us, 3 Nats. I would not be shocked, man.
Yeah.
But they're not going to give us 3 Nats.
Minimum 2. You're getting 2 for sure. I mean, CJ might start.
Yeah, he should. If it's just based off of stats, he should.
I mean, yeah. I don't even know who's.
It's not, though.
Yeah, I mean, it never is. But
Dansby Swanson is up there.
Is he, though?
I mean, yeah. I actually asked fucking ChatGPT yesterday. I said, give me some fucking. I was like, who's a better shortstop than fucking CJ Abrams?
I mean, he's been swinging the bat hot recently, but he's hitting 253.
Yeah, I think he's leading.
He's got
shortstops
10
and home
nukes.
runs, but
yeah, that's not a better resume so far.
Lindor, I don't know what his stat line's at right now, Lindor, but he's up there, obviously. Mookie Betts.
283, 9 home runs. He's closer.
Ellie, statistically, is not there.
Bobby Witt and Gunnar are not in the same league. I hate to be the one to break it to you guys in chat.
Yeah, they're in the American League.
Perdomo
was another name that was thrown around, but and Trey Turner as well. But I mean, there's a lot of bigger name guys who play that position in the NL, but they're not having as good of seasons. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter for baseball. They're going to put, they'd rather put Trey Turner in there than CJ Abrams, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's a popularity contest, but I mean, the best shortstop in baseball in the NL so far. If you were to tell me right now who's starting in the All-Star game or should start in the All-Star game, CJ Abrams, I don't think it's even close.
I know, it just sucks that those are 2 different questions.
Yeah, 2 wildly different questions.
And although he deserves it, he went last year, right? I feel like there's a lot of things that don't really go his way here. We'll see, though.
Yeah.
I know Jovan wasn't high on Adames joining the Giants, but he's been such a great locker room guy, brings in many great vibes. Big key for the Giants' success so far this season.
Yeah, it wasn't really a locker room thing for me. He's always a great locker room guy. It's just I think that contract is going to age pretty poorly if you're talking about strictly baseball. It's for that contract to age well, I think you're going to need power there pretty consistently. I don't think you're going to get that. And he's also been, great locker room guy, but he's been terrible this year.
Yeah, they had to move him down the lineup. Not a great sign. Yeah. We'll see how it plays out. Certainly been a good locker room guy, and that's not really what Jovan was arguing, but yeah, not the greatest hitter and not in a very hitter-friendly environment, I guess is another good point.
Not a great
It's tough to hit nukes in San Fran. It really is.
It is, yeah. It's not really something that's all his fault either. I mean, he's not hitting very many baseballs even close there in the first part, which is his fault. But it's just a power hitting shortstop. And Oracle was a strange choice in my head
Yep,
for that long.
agree. Reeve Trees, he was not batting second every day when he got moved down to the 7-hole the other night and almost hit a nuke. So
Yeah,
that I
they
know.
moved him down. So
He might be back, but
quite
it did move him around.
Yeah, not every day. It was a pretty big thing. He was just hitting 5-hole yesterday. So he hasn't hit in the 2-hole in a long time. It's been more than a week.
People just make up stuff and they put it in the chat. I bet. Kyle Freeland at 16.5 fantasy score is so disrespectful. I mean, yeah, it's terrible. Giants moved that lineup around so much. Yep. Sure. There are some Willie Adames Glazers out there, and I get it, right? He's had some great years, but it's just not a
Easy guy
great
to root for.
situation for him. Sure. He's an easy guy to root for. I agree. All right. Let's keep moving and grooving, guys. Couple more minutes here, and we'll get to the squad ride. Make sure we cash this puppy today because squad ride's been sucking in May. They're 2-7 in May. And after a great month of April, where we won 2 squad rides for every L, May has fallen back into a terrible abyss, and we are 2-7 this month. So we got to figure it out. We got to lock the fuck in. We got to click the right button. We got to put ourselves in the right spots, and we got to make sure you guys are voting for a bunch of winners up there in the poll. Winners only.
Could be a
the
great
poll.
time to put Nick Kurtz 2 home runs in the squad ride.
Sure. A lot of great natural light behind me. Yeah, look, I'm at the parents' crib out right now and watching the dog for another couple hours, and it's been nice. I've not been over here in a while, so been good. Holding it down over here in Maryland, Gootsland. Better name for it, but I'm in the Gootsland. We got Remy Lowe coming in hot, 31 months. Let's fucking go, Remy Lowe. And a baby. Remy Lowe, way to get active, way to get involved. I want to gas up Trent as well. Who, I mean, you cannot talk about bringing more energy than Trent yesterday on the sidelines. And obviously it helps when your team is competing in a conference, semifinals. But yeah, shout out Trent. Shout out Trent for W Aura farming, W clip farming yesterday on the sidelines. Had some great pictures, some great moments, and I know we had a great time watching his squad just absolutely splooge. I mean, look, I knew they were laying 8.5, and that was some serious respect. Now they've been getting crazy line respect pretty much all postseason, but good to see Trent get one yesterday and show up, put some fucking heart effort into that shit. He tweeted out something that brought a smile to my face. He was like, yeah, this one means more than betting. He's just there rooting for the only team he gives a hoot about. And that made me happy. I was like, yeah, he cares. And it shows. So W Trent getting one yesterday in full fucking uniform. And most people would not have the sack to go out there and do that. Trent does. And he shows up, he shows out, and good to see him get a win yesterday. Watching his squad splooge against the Nuggets, who I think just ran out of gas. Like Aaron Gordon was fucking toast. He was yapping after the game saying, oh, if only we had an extra day of rest. Bro, that's not the fucking rules. You can't pick your own schedule. Play the fucking game. Quit yapping. That's like one of the rare Aaron Gordon L's I've seen of late. But people just be bitching about stuff, and they can convince their brains that they're right. And I think Aaron Gordon was in one of those spots where, bro, they're not moving the game an extra day because your fucking knees hurt, respectfully. I'm sorry. It was stupid. And I think the Nuggets were kind of out of gas. You saw that last night. Big time win for OKC. Was very happy for Trent yesterday. W's.
Sure.
Let me ask you this, Jovan.
Bookit.
Yeah, we got to get him the away jersey or some shit, the other one. Let me ask you this, Jovan. Do you think they have a chance against the T-Wolves?
I mean, I'd hope so. They're huge favorites.
If you had to take a future in this series, what would you take?
I mean, I'd probably take Wolves plus the games. So I think it's going 7 again. But don't really want to bet against the Thunder, per se. I'd rather wait till probably the Pacers to do that in the finals. But the series should be absolute cinema.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, look, the T-Wolves are up. They're awake. We did not see it all regular season, right? They played like kind of quail shed all regular season, but we knew it's in there We saw it last postseason when they went on a run. So they're here. They're back. Anthony Edwards is a fucking dog. And he's going to give OKC hell. I'm with you. Maybe this was OKC's, Super Bowl, winning that last series. I feel like every year they're going to advance a little bit more until they finally do it. They still have a pretty young core. I'd rather have my coins on Minnesota, but I'm starting to think after watching that game last night, seeing Trent in full fucking kit, jumping around like a little kid, maybe OKC is a team of destiny this year. And there's not many other teams who deserve it more, I guess, than the Thunder, who have a great GM who's been, moving towards this point for the last 15, 20 years. The king of rebuilds, who found the best, most efficient way to rebuild a squad. My goodness, they're fucking stacked. Wizards, please take notes on what the hell they just did because it worked. They deserve it, right? But I think the T-Wolves are a really tough matchup, and they're going to be a tough out, man, this team. They're gritty, and they have an absolute superstar who does not go ghost mode in big moments like we've seen SGA go ghost mode. Anthony Edwards is legit, and he's going to show that again on Tuesday. I guess they do have one day off here, but should be a really good game on Tuesday. We'll talk more about it tomorrow, guys. But looks like the T-Wolves are getting 7.5 points on the roads. Total's already up from 214 to 215.5. Any early thoughts on that game one before we move on to the squad ride?
Can already tell you who I'll be on because Aaron Gordon being like the 4 that can score. Obviously, it's like a lot different when you have Jokic who can be a playmaker at the 5, but it's really been the same thing all season. If you can score from the 4 and you have some sort of size to you, that gives him problems. Who's magically turned into the best player of all time come the playoffs when everybody counted out that trade, myself included. I thought it was a dog shit trade, but Julius Pork has been the key. When Ant has bad shooting games, when Rudy does nothing, when the role players aren't shooting, it's been Julius Pork all playoffs. That is not going to change tomorrow. So I'll tell you who I'll be on for game one.
Pork. 2 words. Pork.
The good
Could
one.
be him.
The better one right now.
Yeah. The Pork has been dialed in, carrying this game. Yeah, who's he going to be matched up against? Do we know? And Chet is fucking barbecue chicken, respectfully. Jesus, man.
People don't talk about that very much. This playoffs has not been a great defender at all.
Bro, he's been terrible on both sides of the ball. He's been dog shit. He's been a bad player.
Yeah, tough matchup for him offensively in that series, so he never really got it going. But I expected him to be a lot better defensively. He's been kind of useless on the court.
He's been useless on both sides of the court, I'll say it.
Yeah.
And he's been more useless on defense. I'll give you that, sure. You don't think I'll be on Rudy?
I mean, Hartenstein's going to be on Rudy, you would think. If they switch,
right.
If they chat on Rudy and God forbid either they go small or even they let Hartenstein switch on Julius Pork, he's going to have 40.
Yeah. Curious to see how that plays out. Shout out Julius Randle. He's been him. The Pork who actually comes through and respects coins.
Krabs, I gotta ask you something. Make sure someone put this in chat. You don't think Roy cheated, right?
No, I don't think so. After learning about it,
okay, good.
I was just asking.
Just making sure.
I don't think he was cheating. Now, do I think that maybe he might have known that the club was non-conforming because
Scotty? Same thing happened to Scotty this week. They checked his club and they
heard that it was pretty common.
It is extremely.
It's very common. I don't think he was cheating, but I do still think there's a chance that maybe he was just ripping that puppy until somebody said something.
Yeah,
I think a lot of players might do.
From what I gathered, that's what they're supposed to do, right?
Well, they're supposed to know when the club has been used too much, and these guys can get new clubs at a moment's notice. But I guess the face of the club wears down a little bit after a couple smacks, and the more it wears down, the further it goes. So that's why they have all these rules put in place where they randomly audit people's drivers and people's clubs and make sure that they're all good to go, make sure nobody's cheating. I love that. That's good, right? No wrongs have been done yet. And I'll give Rory the benefit of the doubt here. I don't think he was cheating. But I think there's also a chance that maybe he knew what was going on and was just going to let it go until somebody said something. Maybe that's the case. But if that's the case, it's probably something that every player on the tour does. Yeah, and they rip that puppy until they get in trouble. So
it's only
I'm not calling him out for cheating, but I am saying I think there's a chance he might have known what was going on.
How much of the field, like, actually, because only a select few get selected to do that every tournament, right, Goods?
Yeah, only a select few. But like they run through every player throughout the year, so like it's a normal thing that happens every year, like in every tournament. So there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with it. It's just all glorified this week because it came out. It's
Yeah.
Mm.
I remember
I
there's
just want to make sure Krabs doesn't think my guy's a cheater.
I feel like I've
No,
seen
I
this
don't.
as a casual golf watcher. Not that I watch it, but like I pay attention to the Sports Center and the headlines for it. I've seen this come out a bunch of times.
Yeah, I mean,
Zach, that's kind of what I was saying. Yeah. Whether they know or not, whether they're doing it on purpose or not, that's kind of what I was hinting at. But I don't think Rory's going around.
not cheating because like even if they are hitting those clubs, because like it's only going a couple yards farther. Like it's not. We can move on.
It
It's
kind of
it's not
sounds like
crazy.
cheating to me a little bit. Now I might start to think he's cheating.
No.
I mean, it was only the driver too. It's not like it was any of the irons or the putter.
That's his money club, though.
I
It's the
mean,
club
sure.
that makes him the big bucks. He's the longest driver on the
Face
tour.
is much thinner.
Crazy
It's
coincidence.
much thinner on a driver than irons. They're not really checking the irons. It's a
Right.
different style of club.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tiger used the same putter for years. There's a big dent in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You like what you like. I agree. This couple yards could be the difference, though, Goots. Yeah, Zach, he's starting to make some good points. Good. I don't think he was cheating, but I think there's a chance he knew what was going on. But if that's the case, I think that's everybody on tour doing that.
I just don't
Not just
understand
him.
like
So
what else are you supposed to do? Just fucking do
you're
your
supposed to
own.
know that it's your club is worn down because you play golf all day every day and you know what's going on. You can't tell me that he doesn't know what the fuck's going on with his clubs.
Well,
It's Rory McIlroy.
the guy said
right?
like it can be the guy who came out and like was the head of I don't know golf like that, but one of the guys who like inspects him said it can be good one swing and not good the next. How the fuck's he supposed to measure that?
I don't know. He's Rory McIlroy. If anybody should know, it's him. Right? Dude golfs all day. He's Mr. Golf.
Yeah, it's not his job.
I don't know.
It's PGA's job.
I guess. Are we getting a surge? I don't know, but it's time to do the squad rides. Why don't we go ahead and lock in, do a squad ride, get involved? Yes, we got a surge getting up and moving. Then we got to move. Goots, run that puppy. I'm trying to see that train. All right, gents. Baseball only today. We're going to pick up the tempo and the pace as well. We got surge starting up here in a minute. There also is some WNBA plays as well. People forget that too. Jovan, I'm looking at some of our options here. I mean, we could put in the over in the athletics game. I haven't heard Trent talk shit about it yet. That could be the difference. But we could put that puppy in there. I certainly like that. And the Soriano Square. And, we've had good luck with those. We could put in the Tigers Cardinals under, which I certainly like a ton. I'd imagine you're probably pretty sketched by the Red Sox. But I also like leaning into the Red Sox first five with that Dobbins angle as well. So, where's your thought at? Where's your head at, I guess, with the Red Sox or that Tigers under?
I mean, I'm down to just go with whatever you're more confident in, to be honest with you.
Let's go Tigers and Cardinals under 8. Let's go Angels Athletics over 9.5. Let's go. Let's get 2 plays, 2 winners. Quality over quantity. This has done us well when we've done it. Don't know if we've earned other plays. Let's get 2 plays, 2 winners. We'll start with that. 1 over, 1 under. 2 plays, 2 winners. Jack, get involved. You got 2 minutes to lock in your vote. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. Get involved. A couple other plays that we talked about that we liked that we certainly could be getting involved on the side. The under in Chicago and Miami that I still can't figure out why the hell that one's dropping a whole run. Obviously, the Red Sox first 5 I love. Would not mind, that team total for Milwaukee either that Jovan brought, sure. Although every time I bet an Orioles game, I lose points. And then the Dodgers late night on the ML as well. Pretty darn good play too. A little bit worried about putting that in the poll because it would automatically win. Guys, 2 plays, 2 winners. Hurry up, go, go, go. You got the over in the Angels and Athletics game. You've got the under in the Tigers and the Cardinals. 2 plays, 2 winners. Click on the best play that you heard us talk about today. All right. And stick around. We got the Surge stream starting up here in about 1 minute. Right? Sure. W Pega.
Yeah,
I won't be
what's gonna
boots on
win this
ground
poll?
and sacks, so I will vote for the over. Okay, Big Cheesy. Sure we can. Sure we can. The under is smack and Tournament saying, I agree. All right.
Oh, dude.
Slate is kind of ass today, but that's okay. That's why we get paid to lock in and fucking find winners. Right? Can't make excuses. It's still a glorious day. We got 10 baseball games going on today. We might not have any natitude, but
Yeah, I was gonna say no
we'll be okay.
natitude might
No
really
natitude
kill
is
the
tough.
vibe.
That I could agree with, but we got 10 games today. It will be okay. Guys, we're baseball guys, chat. We don't give a fuck if there's no NBA or NHL. We'll be okay. And again, shout out the Leafs last night. I mean, I don't know who their owner was back in the day or whoever, their owner was after all their championships they won back in the day. Whoever made a deal with the devil for this fucking Leafs team, man, they got to go back and make some changes because that team will never win.
It's
They're
never the
cursed.
Leafs year. I can't
It's
believe
never,
people
ever,
still
ever
get
the Leafs.
bought
Ever.
in year after year. They're the Cowboys of hockey.
It's never the Leafs. That was a great comparison that you told me down there in Dallas. They're the Cowboys of the ice. Hilarious. All right. W stream today, guys. We're not going to take any more of your time. Stick around for the Surge stream. Please pitch Trent a winner. Okay, the squad ride is going to be the over in the Angels and the Athletics game. Get involved. Don't just sit there. All right, we got the over in Sacramento tonight. Angels Athletics over 9.5. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.